What's up, guys? Don't worry, you can't see me and I can't see you. These are taking so much energy out of my eyes, I don't understand it. But what I came here to show you and tell you is, you see, with the Christ, you have to understand, okay? If we are going to if we are going to work a jet plane, right? There's many ways to look at it. We can go Christ and go two directions at once, not deciding, or one, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we can run without a head and with no feet, or we're tied up with Christ. You see, with Christ, let me show you. I'm going to design this. I'm going to point the camera down. Looks like a nut, eh? You see so far? Looks like arms of an oyster. D, D. Two birds on each side thinking. They're holding each of them in their hands another D, and 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 another D. We'll put another D around this one, okay? And now we're thinking. We got our rocks off, and now we're thinking. So we pull a point down to here, you pull a point up to here, and now you start to think. So you think once, you think twice, and as he's thinking there, he's thinking once, he's thinking twice, he's thinking one more time, he's thinking his last time. They come together. They're not a ghost. Don't worry, they're not ghosts. Okay? And this is where the thought ends up coming out. Are you watching so far? This is the bird, the Quebec bird, the fleur-de-lis. The fleur-de-lis found by the Ten Commandments, the fleur-de-lis found by Christ. This is how the bird thinks. These are lobster claws holding on to the power and the energy. Because you know what I just saw at the store? Okay? You know what I just saw at the store? I did that quick. Don't forget, he's up on the Christ cross right here. Do you see it? The Christ cross is here. He doesn't need his hands. He doesn't need his hands. And I'm going to show you why. Okay? I'm going to show you why. Because you don't need your hands. You don't go to a church and throw everything upside down because they're not doing what you tell them to do. We're all here as individuals. We all have one arm. You know what kayaking is? Kayaking is like this. Two hands together, moving one paddle with a straight point, going down. You got to only concentrate on what you're doing and a little bit else. You got to sing a song and a dance to keep those hands moving. And then we get onto the dance floor and whoa, we're paddling away, but we're kayaking. The one stiff staff of Christ, okay? A 4-twin propeller, always constantly forcing. If it pushes too hard, it'll knock you off. It shouldn't be any more than this. 120 degrees divided by 6 is 360. That's the best you can do. But then you don't leave enough pressure for the push, so you make the propeller like this. Mercedes-Benz. The cross Christ is the head and the arms, the cross. Now the bird is on the cross because the only thing that's in your head, it's a bird. Because some people call your penis a bird. Sometimes you say you're thinking with your other mushroom, your other head. It's all a game of notes and rhymes and riddles. And that's what I like to do, is to play with the words. Because a word heard of one said is one read of one who has put it to bed, who has put it in his head until it is said of the one. What one word said is a definition of. then the understanding, the way you partake in, the way you think about whatever it is. You throw it around and you react, and then you throw everything down in the church. So Jesus Christ, with his hands, was no good. He wasn't good with his hands. We saw he knocked everything down with the church, right? So we know if he can knock it down, he knows how easy it is to rebuild. So then he becomes the woodsmith. Any smith, many smiths, many Christs. The new system of 303 Christ. The cube we throw in craps is 6 sides. But that doesn't mean there's not an 8-sided cube. They call it the octagon by turning 2 cubes, or 12-sided cube. Still a cube. Inside, the number of points on the outside. So now, what we're going to do is now I'm going to do the other one. And they call this one a prop. And they always called it a prop, and everything they did in music and stuff, they kept calling it, bring in the props, bring in the props. So you're always building a prop. That means a prop could be building its own propeller. Now you're running 2 sides of a leaf. Now if I put one more prop up top, and you put one more prop up here, here you are. Here you are. Thinking this side. Thinking this side. Which side you're thinking? Here's your mouth, here's your eye, and you're thinking. But you're lucky. They put legs on you. See the V that's upside down? Marijuana. Leave the mind go. What is the name of our race? It's a Juana race. It's the year of the Juana. What does the J actually mean? It's A and I. So it means A, I, and E. Let me write this. A, I, and E. So A and I is J, and J is E, and E is O. Geometric. The geocar, the geometrics. Where do I get all these words from? A and I is 10, right here. A and E is 6. Let me put that out. I and E is 14. Let me write that one out. Jeton, geometric. What is the number of Boom Boom Jeffrion for the Montreal Canadiens? Because the original 6 hockey teams are starting to grow a bigger picture to their names, their numbers, and all the stats. Hey man, guess what? I can read the past. I can read the past. All I have to do is look into the future, because I can read the future now. Because I go into the past, I learn about it today in 2012. I go all the way back to the 1900s of the original 6 hockey teams. I look what happened before this year started, what happened during and after, and now I got the past. So from let's say 06, I'll go to 1915. And I've been to the future, 9 years into the future from 1906. Then I'll go to 1940, because that was the beginning, and then 1945, the end of the year. Now I'll go to 1940, I'll go back to 1888 and go all the way back and see what happened. See if anything they talked about was sold, because don't forget, after a cycle of 12 years, you seem to be getting old, and they'll only have you for another 5. At the age of 37, 3 by 37 is 111 on the roof of 911, in the middle of roulette. They tend to not really want you. They give you a 10-year contract, but they know you won't make it, so they give you a little extra, showing you you're going to take less at the end. The number of the hockey players that went into the future: Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux. The color of his team uniform, the name, the city they were from is the reason of the problems he had. If he wasn't set to be in Pittsburgh, he would have did better. And he already did great. Because Pittsburgh is a central place for lies, my father told me. An internal vibration that is constantly sent to us from the sun. If you ever look at the sun, okay, can you see this tape? I'm going to try and see if I can do this, but I need just something small, something very small. Let me see. Can I tape this on maybe? Hey, what's up? Okay. It doesn't work. What I'm trying to show you is if you look, can you see it unwinding? You can see it coming off. But this is what it's like. It's unwinding from this side, and it's rewinding from this side. And then after it rewinds, it goes back to this side and rewinds again. Betamax, the P world we're in, beta cassettes. The other thing is the sun goes around and around and around and around, and it re-energizes within the earth. It's a contraption. The sun is like this. If you really look at the sun, take your yellow and your black glasses, then your yellow and your black. You can see the spirals going out and then turning. But you only see them like this. And then all of a sudden the spiral is here. No, not the spiral, the lines of the sun. First they're here, then they're here, then they're here. Of course they're like that. They're turning, man. The rodent coil in the sun. Whatever that coil does, I know that coil is what they're using right now. I know this guy, what is it, Mark or whatever his name is, he knows because I know because a lot of us know. He knows because he searched out and he found the truth from within the existence of something he created by himself because it already existed. And not only that, because it already existed and he adds in numerology to it, his coil is actually probably better than the existing coil. I'm quite sure of it because we're the future today. So they would want someone like that because he's got the future in his hands. The fingertips of who we are brings on 10% interest to this world in evolution. And the interest rate shows by it. It's our mind pushing out in advance where our actual computer minds can do it, but we have nothing to do it with. We can't destroy within our own world because we're growing. So we come into other places to regrow ourselves, to destroy, to recreate within. I wanted to show you something, and I don't know where I put it. 4, 8, 12, 16, 32, 44, none of them go to jail. Go all the way around the board, and we're on the 44th president right now. They never go to jail. Do you understand? The governments usually never go to jail. Maybe they go in the jail, but they're never in a jail. Jailhouse rocks. Don't you understand? 4, 8, 12. The other one is a pillar to a corner of the building. 4, 8, 12. The other one is a pillar to the corner of the building until you have 4 guys, 4 heads on top of Mount Russian more Russian than anybody else. 4 heads by 12 is 48. 4 by 8 is 32. 4 and 8 is 12. 44, Barack Obama. 8 by 45 is all the way around. But by 44, you're off by 8. So instead of 366 days this year, it's 358. 58, 50, 50, 50 is 150, and 24 is 174, the one spirit of the 7-4 Christ. 147 and 741. 147, 741 is 888. 888 plus 888 for the 2 sides equals to 1776. I can bring you any number. I can bring this up to the George Washington birthday. The more I know, the more I can connect because I have the basics. I already know where it goes because they're already giving you a number. So I went to the 1940 hockey, and I went to the 1940 war, and I went to the 1950, and I went to my parents being birthed in the 30s. And I know my parents told me history when my mother was in the 40s. And then she told me what my grandfather did when he was younger. And then she told me what my grandmother did and what she did if there were any bad times when she was younger. I saw as I was born what they were doing when they got older compared to what they did when they got younger. And I know the past. Then I live into the future from the past. Because of today, yesterday, and tomorrow, I can basically tell you almost everything that's going on tomorrow and be absolutely right. I'm going to wake up or be dead and not wake up at all. I'm going to be at home and everything's well. I'm driving in my car. They'll pull me over and put me in jail. But whatever it is tomorrow, I'm going to do something good because that's my choice in life. So I know tomorrow I bring on goodness to all. Mythology is the reason we never continue to give up. Be kind to the Lord of truth. Do you understand how short I made Jesus' arms? Only to the shoulders does it go. But when Jesus was hung, he put his arm out to touch this letter here, to grab on this letter here, to grab yesterday with tomorrow, is why Jesus was hung that way. Okay? Jesus is 10:3 CB code. Check out what it is. Because 10:1 is father or mother, and 10:2 is father or mother, depending which world. 10:3 is Christ. 10:4, all right, good buddy, because we're all good buddies. We came down here as little men, little green men. That's how I know. My father spit on the floor the night he fucked my mother. When I looked on the floor when I was born, all I saw was green. So I must have thought I was the same thing hidden in the white sperm. Page 1. Page 2. Truth. Trust. Superman. Road ruler. You. The cross. The Jesus crossed road. Moses crossed the road. The mythology. Thus believed the Lord. H and H heaven. Hell. Crooked desire equals broken. The word Zeus of 4,000 years ago, the existence of Greeks, the worlds of lies, of encouragement. Moses splitting the seas. Moses splitting the seas. 3 hearts. Red and blue touch, blue and green touch, red and green touch. This is basically you, but this is you. But this is what you're working with. You have your pin up over here, your 2 arms out, but this has nothing to do with your arm. This is your dick. This is one of your balls, and this is the other of your balls. This is the point of your dick. If you don't use it right, you won't be able to think. As you do it, when you are in love, and you exaggerate your energies, then you have either the love or you have the envy. The universe created for angel light. 3 primary universes came together to create our universe. Center core, mug and dove core, B, honeycomb, L. And then I scratched it out. I don't know why. See the way this one goes out 1 point? See the way this one's free 2 points? See this one's free 3 points? But they got you nailed down. Because once they put you in a hole in a jail, doesn't matter how your feet work. Different letters on how they came to be. In the lakes and in the oceans, walking. Walking below the ocean, the ace. Walking above the ocean, the ace. Roman numeral equals 1,000. Can you figure out why? Because it's an M. These 2 lines put over here up and down here become the letter MW. Here it is. This M goes right underneath here. Take away the legs. Sigma, same thing, ace, sigma, or 2 M's. The 18th letter, the 18th letter. I'm going to use 10 for 1 and 1 if you want. Let me say it like this. I'm going to mix it all up because of the Greeks, the way they were involved. Sigma 18 with an ace makes 29. Sigma 18 with an ace makes 29. You got 58. 58 represents the company house of A4, of 3A4, 3 creation. If you look at the X here, and the X here, east and west, add them up, it's 20. The V up and the V down, because if you really do it this way, it turns into something else, right? So let me just show you it this way. 10, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32. 32, and you start at V5 equals 37. Once around the alphabet, 3 by 37 is 111. The Twin Towers, 2 of them. That makes 222 floors, including the roof. I'm not counting below the ground because now you're taken away from above because you're going up or you're going down. I'm counting one of the sides only. 222 Obviously, it was in the heavens times 8 because they can see it 45 miles all around. Times 8 is 360. So 222 of the floors of the two twin towers times 8 is 1776. Now match any number you want because everything matches. That's the way it works in the numbers world. When you go to school in mathematics, there's always an answer. But when you go to English class, it's always a story. So if you give me a story about the number and I don't like it, I'm going to look at more numbers and see the truth, to see the tons of comparisons, because in this world, it's 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and everything keeps doubling. And you want to see how fast it goes up? 32, 64, 128, 256, 512. Memory, 1024, 1024. 1024 is 512. 12 is on the right-hand side. It means only one thing. Put both of them together. 12 is 1 and 2 is 3, plus 5, 8. So we did this, and now it's this. The U and the U. This U is valued at 1, 7 is 15, 8, 23, 9, 32, and 3, this is 8, 35, 8. Under the ocean, the valley, over the mountain, 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 9, 22. 22 is over the mountain. What number did I get here? 1. Actually, I don't know if I should be using the whole row here, but I'm not. I'm only going to use the 8 because I'm pulling it down. Elements of magnets. Do you understand? If I pull out this little thing from the magnet, right, and this is being held by these two walls, when I pull out, if there were holes in here, it would pull air from here inside here, and it would pull anything into it, both sides. And when it pulls it in, you're stuck in there. Gravitational pull from the electricity and the shape and design of our world. So we saw the value of these two. And then there's a few more. I mean, you want to talk about the C's, so let's talk about the C's. Which C do you want? Which value C do you want? In which direction? See this one over here? 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down to this corner of 7 is 13, over to the 9, 22. 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is 17, and 9 is 26, and 7 is 33. 1, 4, count the 6 is 10, count the 9 is 15, count the 7 is 22. There's different ways to do it. Count the 1, 3, 9, 7. You already know where you're going. 1, 3 is 4, 9 and 7 is 20. 3, 1, and 7, and not 3, 1 is 4, and 7 is 11, 20. Now your numbers are not in the same area, so you'll know the same numbers, but backwards, it's on this side. So everyone will have a number. It's all split around. Not only that, but let me show you one more thing. I wasn't going to cheat this, but I'm going to cheat it now. They may be C's, but without this, they don't give you the air. Air, air, air. 1 and 3 is 4. And 9 is 13, you have the air. 1 has to go to 3 for the air. By doing this, okay, they create the letter R, or Reich. Okay, I want to show you something else. I don't know where this is. Let me see if I got it here somewhere. Here, you want to see a quickie. Here, you put this on top of your head. 1 and 7. 4 is the passage. The average is 6. 1, 4, 7. In between 1 and 7 is 6, but there's a 4 that goes here on your phone. 3, 6, 9. In between 3 and 9 is a 6, and there's a 6 going here. 6, 4, 6, 6. 60 and 40 is 100. 6 and 4 is 10. 110% of your brain. 110% of your brain, and every other calculation of anything, your choice that has ever been made on the entire globe for eternal and beyond and in the past of prehistory is all numbered. The reason it's numbered is because you numbered it, not me. You put it out there for us to read. I went and I read it. This is something I did 2 years ago, so now we can start with the pitchforks. And where you see this going through here, these are all number ones. But when number one gets big, okay, it becomes an L. And it still says number one. But what really happens is the L and the F are both worth 6. The L is worth 3, half, because it's 2 of them together. It's really FF equals 12. And that's the business plates in Quebec. Different parts of the world of North America where my system was built is the way I see it. So I've written it down here before, and I don't see it. I'm not too happy about it, but I was working on 4s and 7s, the cross, and then the line on an angle. There's a whole story to this. This creates the Golden Gate Bridge. 4 by 4 is 16. 16 by 4 is 3264. This is not the same thing. This is 4 by 44. 172. Reverse that. Reverse 172. I always feel like I'm in a rush. Reverse 172 with 271, and we get 353. 353, 5 by 3 is 15. 5 and 3 is 8, number 23. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 and 3 is 8, 23. We have 46, as we just talked before. 46 goes right here. We don't connect the 2 of them because it's not here. It comes from here. We connect this one. 7 and 9 equals 7. 9 and 3 equals 3. 3, 5, and 3 equals 11. 11 plus 23 equals 34. Twice 34 equals 68. We started off by 1 times 72. So we have 1 times 72 of 68. 7268. Can you see it? Like I said, I've been doing these for a long time, and I've always used this number. Now, when you want to reverse 7268, okay, 7268, and you want to bring it to the 10 world, you want to bring, you see there's the first 2 numbers and the second 2 numbers. One is going to go to the 7 world and stay. The other one's going to go to the 10 world. The first number here is always going to be the 10 world, 8. You don't have to change that. Why is it always going to be? Because everything you do on this side is always going to be perfect, or you're borrowing from here to be perfect. But it's never borrowed from unless there's a percentage. And if there's a percentage, it owns it. So I'm going to bring this, let's say, to the 10 world. But we know 1,000. Stop. 7 is telling you the houses you're in. 2 says which houses, right here. So 7 don't change 2, only change 6 and 5. So to change the 6 and 5, we want to make it look like 12. So what we do is we go 3 and 3. We put the number of Christ on it. We have to put the number of Christ, because if we don't put the number of Christ, this number comes from Christ's mother. I have to add the son's mother on, shouldn't I not? Why do I say it comes from Christ's mother? Well, it's pretty simple. I had a dream one night, and the dream was Christ. So, you know, I figured she's a good dude. I smoked a joint with her. What was her name? Mary. Yeah, Jesus' mother, Mary Joanna. That's it. Hey, Mary. Hey, yeah, Joanna? Okay, come over here. We'll do it together. Smoke one with me. Maybe we'll all sleep together and have a little Christ, a little bastard or something. Because every time he spreads out his arm, everybody thinks he's the God. Oh, when he keeps his arms to himself and he talks, nobody bothers him. So now we're going to add the number. I don't like to work without you seeing. When I feel you can see, then I'm going to do it. 8 and 3. Oh, wait a second. Jesus had to come here 1 year old. He was still upstairs. He was number 33. When he came down, he was 34. So I can't forget this 1 here. Okay, for the 1. Because the 1 of who we are is the 10 of who we are. 8 and 3 is 11. 1 and 1 is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put 1 over here. Okay, and we're going to stop. We have the 1 to add here. Plus 1 equals 12. Now, to show you what 72 is, try and show you what 72 is. How you doing there, eh, guys? 72. 72, 72. Here we go. Two dice. 6 on one side, 7 on the other side. We have 2 dice. 2 dice, that makes 7. 7, and the lowest you can get is 2. 6 and 1 is the 7, but the least you can get is the 2, and the most you can get is the 12. But there's something missing in here. There's no dot in the center. So once you get 12, one of these dice must be worth at least, okay, 7. That means this dice has to turn to the side. 2 and 6 and 2 and 7 is the same thing because this 2 has a hold of you. Here and here and here and here and here and here. But the 4 corners is who you are and is who kept up. The other 6 is God. He has to be the same thing as you. If he was not the same thing as you, then you wouldn't be like God anymore. So we take that away. 6 and 6 is 12. Now we look around the side. Okay, we're going to flip it to the side. 2 on one side. 4 is 6. And 5 is 11. And 3 is 14. That's a cross of Christ. 1 and 4 equals 5. So if the 1 and 4 average equals 5, we now have number 11. But we switch them both ways. We have 11, 11. 11 times 11 is 121, which is the 1st of May every single year except for the leap year. Now, how can we figure out what 20 is then? Because this is the 20 world because we have 5 on each side. Remember I just showed you it was 15? The average is only 3. 1, 2, 3. You only take 3 sides. Then there's 1, 2, 3 sides, like a baseball. So what we're going to do is like this. We want to see 2012, but we don't have a 0. Or do we have a 0? This is not a 0. This is 20. Why? Because when you flip over the 4, you see the 3? Only count the 1 in the center. 3 times 2, 3 plus 2, put the 1 in the center here. It makes it worth 5. Let me explain to you a different way. You see the 4 on top? When the 4 is on top, here's the 4. Underneath is the 3. When I put this on top of this one, only a 5 shows. When I put it to the 5, it doesn't matter what number I put on top, but the 2 is opposite of the 5. I got 2 doubled corners. So I got 5 and doubled on the other corner makes 10. And then this, 3, we did 3 already. We did 4, we did them all. 4, we did the 4, we did the 5. We didn't do the 6. You see, with 6, when you put the 1 on the opposite side, it makes 7. It's the only one. Every other one makes 5. 4 with the dot of the 3 will make 5. 2, turn it around. The 5 is already complete. 2 double corners. 3, turn it all the way to the 4. Only the dot in the center. 5, 5, 5, 5 is 20. 2 dice, 12. 2012. Throw the dice. 2 years to capture us. There you go. Put your helmet on. Humpty Dumpty equals angel. One story and one story equals one story. Man's two tails pass through the dark eye of matrix to clarify the truth in story, as without the matrix the stories will all confuse angel and crack up the connection and the spirit dies. So you have to have a reason. It's telling you a reason. Then we have this over here. 1 day a month, 1 day truth equals 2 day equals 28 plus 2. Can you figure out why? Left, right, and decision. You're thinking, I go to the left to think, I go to the right to think, 30 days in a month. When I come up with the decision, there's 31 because the helmet over here is 7, 1. The thought in between, which is 2 and 5. The 7 in between is the 2 and 5. 2, 5, 8, and 0. In your throat to breathe, up to your connection and around. God angel, God angel. 1 story heard, 1 story heard equals 2 and 2 stories. 4 months, 30 days. How does something sit on something imperfect? They put a little sponge in between till everything seems to fit properly. See the skull bone? See the inside of the beehives? Creation universe. Great never is the best. As of 9, if you reach 10, it's over. The only time you need 10 is when you're making a decision or connecting plumbing and any other building appliances. You got to put 10 together. 11 would be the action, and 12 would be the total of the sale. That would be 13. Of the collection bill number 14 of the check that comes in the mail's number 15. And when you get the check, it's the one spirit of 616. You put it in the bank to the queen of all is the bank 17. So when it passes through, you now have race 18. The letter R. The letter R equals 88. 8 by 8 is 64, and you got a perfect square. You know why? Because inside the 8, the border line, okay, let me show you how the border line works. The border line of I'm just going to show you one, okay? This is your border line all on the outside, okay? Now you don't have to have it here because you're already standing on the ground, but I'm showing you the total. So inside here is the 4 of your life, and outside here is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. But 4 is on the inside, and 12 is on the outside, is 16, one spirit of 6. If I did the 8 board, you would have the border line, because when you play checkers, you have a border line for the men. Great never is the best, I try harder. If I reach 10, okay, I know I've made a mistake. Even when I'm building something, it will break. So I didn't make a mistake. But you really never reach 10 because nothing is forever. We're constantly switching. Even this planet, they're going to switch it. Change it up. Do something else to it. It's all used up. All they got to do is fuel her up again. That's all. God, come on down. Fuel her up. We'll turn it over again one more time. Will we do any better? Great never is the best. The I world, try harder. The E-Spirit Connection Angel in I-Man, the month of May programmation, May for programmation, May for programmation, pass to the matrix cleansing, in which all has to do with love. You see this is the same as this. This is the letter M, this is the letter K. You now have a V. MK, you have a V for light. The line is on the bottom saying 2500. 2500 is this. 2580 on your telephone. 2 triangles together. Pyramid news. And then how F and F creates the A. 2 F's is an A. Creating also, if you want, the E to create the 8s. That's why we say the word F. Because F in word, okay, F. F, 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 E, E. FF equals 12. Remember I told you with the little line with the L letter? You see the L letter? The other L letter, the values of it are 6 and 12, but they're really 6 because you need 2 of them to make it work. This is two E's, makes an 8. This is two F's, make an ace. Ace 18, ace 19, ace 20 in blackjack, and you're in the other world. So what would be better, right, is to E, E, F, F. What would be another thing is to put E, E with the 1 and the 7. Here's a 1 and upside down 7. 8 and 4 is 12. 12 always misses jail. F, F, 6 and 6, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. So now I would have 3 with F, F, and 4 is 7. Now, I'm just trying to figure out which other ones you can have. When you have E and F, okay, again, back to 8 and 1. We don't want, you see that ace? We don't really want that ace, because the minute we get ace 18, you don't want another card in blackjack. So you stop. And ace 17 is actually an 8. So then you've gone back to the other world. So 7 or 8. And if I found it on the cards, I would show you. But on this one, there is no middle moon. You're either up here, you're dead, and you're alive in this card. Dead underneath the ground, below the water, or up above the ground in the sky. Question is, what is this 7 saying? 7 and 7 and 2. 2 of them, 2012. They changed the cards. Bicycle edition, eco edition. That means it's been updated. That's good. BEE says B. It says B card. The last letter is EON, eons ago. If you say it NEO, it's Neo Anderson. NE is a birth, the key of life. The Anunnaki. Anna means year. Noki, Nokia, Japanese. Remember the Japanese communication? That's why they controlled. They gave you everything in the world. They brought the Orient in here with their Japanese communication. And then everybody else had to work on it. So I have a funny feeling that all of Asia is on our side, because New Zealand and under the ground, Australia, Malaysia. Oh, wait a second. You see, part of the history I haven't searched yet is the Morocco. Why Morocco is really Morocco the way they are, Moroccans the way they are. Something happened a long time ago to move them over there to become the way they are. Because the way they treat women, the way I've seen it, is terrible. The way they speak, they seem to know it all. But that's good. They have that for a reason. Because they were knocked up by some old woman called Beta. Beta Cassette World, that they knew before man was born. And it came into this world from there. And it continued on. And we lived in a stern ways to make sure that world doesn't come back. Now that North America is a new add-on to this, as was the East, the end never comes. The end is the best, but she never comes, because the end is every day you awaken. Raphael, 72:86. I just hope this Halloween is good for everybody. I know there's not going to be Halloween everywhere. I know, in fact, that maybe the elections might be canceled. I don't know whether or not the World Series will make it to the end. I looked over all the teams and who won what and who lost what, and it talks about the bridge falling down again or being shaken. They're talking about the bridge in the St. Louis being shaken up. Those are the two major bridges, I think, before then. Otherwise, they'd have to pass through Oakland. That would be the determination to play. You cannot stop the game of baseball for anything that happens. The game of baseball must go on to the last pitch, and somebody must win a World Series. Regardless of what happens, it's your team, it's your sport, it's your game, it's your life. That's what you do every day. If you are a worker and the bridge fell and you live 10,000 miles away, are you going to not work because they didn't? That's not what God wants. God wants you to work and think of them all day. That's it. He wants everything to be completed. No quitters. Okay? No excuses if a bridge falls down or a dam falls down. There's something falling down all the time. This is life. We must finish. Hockey did not finish. If two sports do not finish, and the basketball will not finish, and one sport did finish, and the NFL might not finish, but the CFL might finish, but under duress, of course, in the final days of time. This is the book of Cezarian. This is the book of an imagination. This is the book of determination between my being awake and my being asleep, and the way I see the night and the way I see the day. Or one day somebody will swoop up whatever I have said and put it into better words so everybody can understand. But for now, the book must go on. The sports must go on. We must not stop. Even if the nights get dark, they will not get dark for long, because they must always regenerate. They must always regenerate. They don't think it, right? But when you stop the in and the out, and you keep all the energy within, boom, blows up. Just like the Big Bang, the original Earth that popped. That's maybe what I think, because they saved too much energy in here. And the magnets were just, they flipped. Once the magnets flip, my friends, boom, they throw everything out. Everything out. And if Earth goes boom, you know what happens? You know what happens if Earth goes boom? God goes, oh, I saw this happening 3 days ago, and he starts to move his end of the planet, his end of the Christmas deal. When you blow up this planet, the Christmas deal is over. I take back all those mines that I lent you. God, thank you very much. It was very interesting to be able to get in and write this book, but we must move on. There's got to be another page. Charmed, the pages we turned, charmed, and the names of the girls. Remember all, but remember never to forget. 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. We are coming up on the last part of chapter 38, going into chapter 39. We know what happens on 41. The book is on the shelf. So I don't want to get there yet, because then I'd have to stop and start another book. But I want to try and get it all in one book, because I'm not a crook. One book, one price about everything, and then all the add-ons, well, you can probably pick them up free online the way I've been giving it away from the beginning. Raphael, 7286. LFWZ. Thank you.